generations have been brought up in the cotton trade. The resilience, it's bred in them. There's been good times, there's been bad times. And they know that they've got to get through the bad times for the good times to come again.
You will be aware that in recent months, trading conditions have been very difficult. Extensive short-time working has only been avoided by weaving to stock. And for a long time, this mill has been struggling against the difficulties facing it. The purpose of this meeting is to say that production here must cease during the next month or two.
So the closure of this mill is, I think, a great blow to the village, you see. There's people work there all their lives. They've never been at any other mill. They're part of the village community. And if this mill's closing down, how are they going to find jobs in other areas?
The running down of production will begin quickly, but there will be work available here for at least 4 weeks from today's date, and for longer than this for some of you.
Well, I've lived all my life in Cornholme, within more or less a stone's throw of this place, and I don't think I've had a lot of prospects of another job, really, not at my age. But I'm still hoping that something will turn up.
Each one of you will be given notice individually, and during the next few days you will all be interviewed separately so that we may seek ways of solving any problems you may have. The closure will undoubtedly cause problems for you, and this is very much regretted.
Well, it's a question of age, really. You know, a man in his middle 50s with 40 years experience in a trade, he's acquired skills, and he'll find great difficulty in finding an equal job in any other industry. They're not regarded as suitable material for retraining, and the chances of getting the same job in the same industry are negligible. If he considered moving to another area, he's find great difficulties in finding accommodation and maybe the finance to acquire a new house, and he's probably got family roots in the town and would be loath to sell it. But of course, it isn't just a question of a man of the middle 50s. There are 200 operatives thrown out of work, and whatever age they are, they're going to find it very hard to get work again in a town of 16,000.
With the closure of the mill, the three of us affected, my mother, my father and myself, we'll all be very sad because the wages are good. When I was 18, I was coming home with £16.16 a week. And when I used to go out with the girls at weekend, I used to have to buy more drinks because I got more money than they did. But a lot of people seem to think it's a dirty job. Well, it is a dirty job, you know, with fluff and oil. And the noise is absolutely tremendous, you know. But you get used to it in the end. It's a bit dodgy as well sometimes being hit with shuttles, but once you've been hit once or twice, it's not too bad. But my father's took it very bad, you know. He's worked there for 14 years, and it's always been the family tradition, you know. They've all his relations, his father and his mother, they've all worked in the cotton industry. He's a foreman in the winding room now. My mother hasn't took it too badly though, because she hasn't been in the cotton industry for a long time. She likes it though, she wouldn't do anything else. She was a bit timid about it at first, but she really likes it. But my father doesn't have a clue what he's going to do now. He's wrote off for 1 or 2 jobs. He's had a look round, he's traipsed round, and he hasn't found anything. You know, he's been turned down because he was too old. And he's at least another 10 or 11 years to work yet.
I'm used to being redundant. I've been made redundant at least 5 times. In between working a week, playing a week, working a week, playing a fortnight. It's a good job, it's good money. Tackling in the cotton trade, it really is a good trade, but it's a dying trade. I went to night school for 2 years, and I did a while Saturday morning day school. That one handed on to a plate and didn't get paid for that, and that was just the case going to night school to get further on in the job. We decided to leave Cornhole for Harrogate. I was offered a job overlooking the same job that is on in now. It's a big decision to make to remove from the town you were born in and go to another town. Anyway, we decided we'll move and make the break for the children's sake as well as his own. There'll be more opportunities and better prospects for them. My wife thinks it's important for the children to move to a different town.
Julius and Ian have been coming since they were 2 and a half, and they seem to be doing very well. They both really love it, and I'm sure they'll miss it, and all the teachers when they go.
Yes, thank you, bye-bye. Come on.
But we're hoping they'll have better opportunities when we move to Harrogate, a bigger town. More things going on for them when they get older. Oh, the last 9 years was awful. We've had short times. Michael's been out to work 5 times. So we just hope that things will be better in Harrogate. We don't know anybody where we're going, but we think in the long run it will be for the best. But just at the moment, I'm sure they're going to miss everybody. All the friends that they've known ever since they was little.
Hello.
And I'm going to miss them more, walking down the street and not knowing anyone where we're going. And here, you go out to the door and you're bound to meet somebody and have a little chat.
You've done that. Yeah. We're practically ready, you know. Houses in an uproar. It looks terrible. Yeah, I don't know.
Settle down now, right?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see you again. Yeah. Ta-da. 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 Mrs. Gannigan. No. Ta-da.
Well, it's close for good this time. We've had prosperous times here, we've had hard times here. But there's always been the threat of fear of an eventual closure. You know, it's not just a shed full of scrap machinery that I can see as I walk through it. I can still see the weavers on the particular looms. To me, it's more like a graveyard with my old workmates' tombstones lined up in rows on either side of me.
On the closure of the mill, redundancy payments will be made according to the Redundancy Payments Act. The amount of the payment is to be related to pay, length of service and age. Years of service will count for payment as follows. For each year of employment between ages of 18 and 21 inclusive, a half a week's pay. For each year of employment between ages 22 and 40 inclusive, 1 week's pay. For each year of employment between ages 41 and 64, 59 for women inclusive, 1.5 weeks pay. An employee is not entitled to a payment if he has reached the age of 65, 60 for a woman, on the day his contract terminates.
You've worked all your life with people, and you know you're going to have to go among strangers to make your life again. But it can be done. It will be done with people. They'll not lie down to this and give up the ghost, you know. But I think that is a sad thing where people, they work together, biggest part of their working life, and they're very intimate, you know. Well, you go into a strange work, strange people, you haven't this attachment that you had previous. That's really a sad thing, because if they get in like on a bit, they really never make these attachments again, you know.
Can you remember the time? 5:15, I think, was the finishing time in those days, wasn't it?
Yes, it was 5:15.
Can you remember the hordes of them? Trotting down the road, the clatter of the clogs.
I can remember when you couldn't walk up the road if the bobbin mill and Smith's was closing down for the night. There was that many people in the road. They filled the road solid.
It just resembled the end of a football match, just like a football match ending and the crowds pouring out, coming down that road.
And they all wore clogs, you know.
The clatter of it was, well, it was a sound of its own. Gone forever, I suppose, is that?
But the old house got old, didn't it?
It used to do that, didn't it?
Are you going to go down to Kent, Jacob?
Oh, yes, another week or so, we shall be off. Probably stay around a couple of months. I saw the manager at the Labour Exchange, you know, and quite all right to transfer the claim and sign on there whilst I look around. What about you and this Nottingham job?
Well,
any developments yet?
No, there isn't. There won't be yet, you know, because they put the time on for these applications to be in.
I see, yes. So it's a case of waiting.
Yes.
Is the wife happy about the idea of moving?
Well, yes, in a way, and then in a way not. You know, there are these grandchildren, you know how they are with them.
They don't like parting, do they?
Oh, no.
No. I've the same trouble with my wife. But she's expressed her willingness to go now.